Deep in a green, twinkly forest, where the trees whisper secrets to the wind, lived a clever fox named Felix. As the sun began to yawn and stretch its golden arms across the sky, getting ready for bed, Felix had a brilliant idea. A pajama party. He exclaimed to himself, a pajama party right here in the woods. First, Felix trotted over to his cozy den and pulled out his favorite pajamas. They were bright orange with little white stars all over them, just like the ones that would soon pepper the night sky. He buttoned them up, feeling snug and excited. Now, who should I invite? He wondered. His first stop was the big old oak tree where Professor Hoot, the wise owl, lived. Felix looked up and called, "Professor Hoot, are you awake?" A sleepy eye opened, then another. "Felix, my boy." "What's all the hubbub?" Professor Hoot asked, ruffling his feathers. "I'm having a pajama party. Do you want to come?" Felix chirped. Professor Hoot smiled. A pajama party? Splendid. I'll be right down." A moment later, Professor Hoot fluttered down, wearing a handsome set of blue and white striped pajamas and a little matching nightcap perched perfectly between his feathery ears. Next, Felix and Professor Hoot went to find their friend Rosie the bunny. Rosie lived in a warm, snug burrow under a blackberry bush. "Rosie!" "Oh, Rosie." Felix called softly. Rosie's long ears twitched, and then her little pink nose poked out. "Felix? Professor Hoot? What are you two doing in your pajamas?" She giggled. "We're having a pajama party, and we want you to join us," said Professor Hoot. Rosie's eyes lit up. "Oh, I love parties." She hopped back inside and came out wearing the cutest pajamas you've ever seen. They were pale pink with tiny carrots printed all over them. She even had little bunny slippers on her feet. "Now we just need one more friend," said Rosie, wiggling her nose. "Barnaby the bear," they all shouted together. They walked to a cozy cave nestled at the edge of the forest. Soft, rumbling snores were coming from inside. "He's already asleep," whispered Rosie. Felix tiptoed to the entrance. "Barnaby? Wake up, sleepyhead. We're having a pajama party." He whispered loudly. The snoring stopped. A big, brown, fuzzy head appeared. "A party? Did someone say there would be honey?" Barnaby Bear mumbled, rubbing his sleepy eyes. "Maybe later," Felix laughed. "First, you need your pajamas." Barnaby grinned and disappeared back into his cave. He came out wearing a big, comfy, green-checkered one-piece pajama set that fit his large, cuddly frame perfectly. Now, the pajama party could really begin. The four friends found a soft, mossy clearing under the biggest, most beautiful star-filled sky. Professor Hoot suggested they start with a story. He perched on a low branch, adjusted his nightcap, and began a tale about a brave little firefly who wanted to touch the moon. His voice was calm and soothing, and everyone listened, completely enchanted. Felix lay on his back, Rosie snuggled beside him, and Barnaby rested his big head on a soft pile of leaves, his eyes half closed. After the story, Rosie had an idea. "Let's play I Spy with my little eye," she suggested. "I'll go first." "I spy with my little eye? Something that twinkles? Is it the stars?" asked Felix. "Yes," Rosie giggled. Felix went next. "I spy something that is tall and has leaves. The trees," Barnaby rumbled. They played for a while, their quiet laughter echoing gently through the peaceful forest. Soon, Barnaby's tummy began to rumble, not with snores this time, but with hunger. "Is it time for a snack?" he asked hopefully. "Of course," said Felix. He had come prepared. He pulled out a little basket he had brought from his den. Inside were 4 little acorn muffins, some sweet red berries, and a small pot of honey just for Barnaby. They all shared the snacks, munching happily under the moonlight. The muffins were nutty, the berries were juicy, and Barnaby declared the honey was the best he'd ever tasted. As they finished their midnight feast, a gentle quietness fell over the group. The moon shone down on them like a gentle nightlight. Professor Hoot was the first to start dozing off on his branch, his head slowly nodding. Rosie let out a tiny bunny yawn and snuggled deeper into the moss. Her little carrot pajamas looked so cozy. Felix looked at his friends, a warm, happy feeling spreading through his chest. He looked up at the endless sea of stars, each one a tiny, sparkling diamond. He loved his forest home and his wonderful friends. He felt his own eyelids getting heavy. It was time for sleep. Barnaby the bear was already lost in dreamland. A soft, happy snore escaped his nose as he dreamed of rivers flowing with honey. Rosie was curled up in a tight little ball, her nose twitching as she probably dreamed of fields full of clover and dandelions. Professor Hoot was perched soundly asleep, his nightcap still perfectly in place. Felix found a spot right between Rosie and Barnaby. He curled his bushy tail around himself like a warm blanket. The forest was so peaceful. The only sounds were the gentle chirping of crickets and the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. He closed his eyes. The forest animal pajama party was a huge success. As Felix drifted off to sleep, his last thought was of how lucky he was to have such amazing friends to share this quiet, magical night with. And under the watchful eyes of the moon and the stars, the 4 friends slept soundly together, dreaming sweet dreams until the sun returned to wake the forest once more.